G'day guys, so 2 videos in one day, what's going on? Here we had a long joined in Ark Apocalypse server, and that's why I'm taming bloody vultures. But nearby I laid down a little surprise for anyone coming in for the desert drops. I'd only just fixed it from the last person that come back and took their frustration out on it. Anyway, there's someone in there. We had a boat just parked down on the beach. So I asked my tribe mate to come up with a turret and a gas grenade. So the trap's been rigged to set an alarm off whenever anything's damaged inside. Anyway, let's quickly build this trap. So start with a U shape, 3 deep and 4 wide. Now we need to lower foundation 3 times. So pillar in the center, pillar on the side, one's foundation level down, and another one in the center, as far down as it'll go. And drop the 2 foundations in the center. Now a giant hatch frame on those. And a giant trapdoor. It should open this way. Now a pressure plate in the centre of those 2 lowered foundations. Normally you'd just want to set the enemy survivor pin, but here I'll just do everyone. And on trap activated, broadcast activate structures. You'll also want to do tribe logging to enemy survivors and rename the pressure plate to folding floor or whatever you want. Now just pin code the giant hatch frame to the same pin that you put on the pressure plate. Fill in the rest of the foundation, and I'll throw 3 triangle foundations at the front. That'll hide the edge of the hatch frame. Okay, so now just wall in a corridor around the edge. Does it need to be this elaborate? No, but I like to be able to spawn out the trap and to have access all around it. Place the inner wall down. And the ceilings. Now I always place a turret on this trap. So place a turret, but make sure it has ammo and a battery in it. And pin code it to the same as the giant trapdoor. Now when the trap is triggered, the turret will turn on, and 30 seconds later it'll activate, and they won't be able to come back and get their stuff. If they have a tame outside, it'll die, and it'll protect you when you come to check the trap. So there's no battery in this one, so it's not going to turn on. Now we just need to bait it with a couple storage boxes. And the last thing to do is set an alarm. So we just need a 1x1 box on the side. Now throw a tripwire down in the doorway. And now you throw a neutral dodo behind that tripwire. Set the tripwire to activate by allies. So now when they walk inside, it chips off the giant hatch frame, traps them inside, and the turret turns on. If they have damaged anything inside, the dodo will rage on them, walk through the tripwire, setting the alarm off and telling you that they're trapped. This guy, he said, I've had enough of this game, I'm out of here. I'm logging out. And this is another one caught with his feather light. I've been using this same trap for years, so if you've ever come across it, let me know in the comments below. I told this poor bastard to unclaim his featherlight and I'll let him out. I didn't think he'd actually do it. And that's another one. The guys got to this one before I could get to the security camera. Took his gigger off him. Fucking KO'd that cunt. I think that was actually our first hawk. We didn't have any before this. And off to jail he goes. The problem with using this trap on Gen 2 is they can off themselves by buying the organic polymer. This is a trap I built on Ragnarok. It was either 111 or 238 server. I forget which one. So his stalker died to the turret on top. I had to go get my own hawk to find his hawk. Anyway, he made the mistake of telling me he was coming back to destroy it. So I'll booby-trap the foundation with C4. And indeed he did come back a bit later with an arthro and tripped off the C4. Anyway, it turns out this guy was okay. He was a friend of one of my friends, and he'd sent her the clips of what went down. And it's always interesting to see what happens from the other person's perspective. Fucking hell. So as I said, I've been using this trap for years, and actually from when Gen 1 first released, which is when the pressure plate came out. And this was the very first one that I made. It had 4 wolves in pens, which were released onto the victim. So the advantage of having a tame kill them means you can take their stuff without having to be online. The disadvantage being they can come back and get their stuff back.
Those missions are how the simulations history. First, though, we've got some exploring ahead of us. Ready to go on walkabout?
And this is one that I placed down at a griffin trap on Crystal Isles. I built a community griffin trap to attract people to the server. And once they become accustomed to that, I built a trap next to it to catch them. So it used a pressure plate to close the door on the griffin. You'd park your Pteranodon on the pressure plate and then go knock the griffin out. And then it'd reopen once they left for the next person. It had been a long time since I'd ridden a frog. This is a door that I built on Church Cave in Scorched Earth. So it would trap them in the corridor and turn a turret on them. Anyway, that's the first pressure plate trap that I made that wasn't just shutting a door on them. And it's a trap that I've built on every server that I've been on. So I know a lot of you cunts have been caught in it. I have probably about 6 more pressure plate traps to do though. But I'll put them in other videos.